Hi everyone. Uh, in this video, we'll do one small project where we'll create one microservice uh, with an entity. Create a few basic endpoints for that microservice and try to call those endpoints from another microservice because at the end of the day, that is what would be required in a production setting. That you know, uh, you would have a scenario where a particular team is working in one service and another team in another service, and then the second team wants to interact or get the data from the first service, and so on and so forth. So uh, just to recap, we already saw how we can set up an API gateway and how, with the help of just the service name and its route configuration, we can call a particular service via the API gateway. And the client need not know details about, let's say internally inventory service or product service or any other service which we may have, and their ports and their instances which are running. So client would just need to know the path which is required call a particular service, and rest of the work would be done by the API gateway. And obviously before that we saw how we can have a centralized configuration setting where we would have a config server setup as a service, which points to a Git repository for the actual properties. Um, and all these different services are registered on a discovery server, uh, you know, which keeps a track of all these different services. Now, what we're going to do is we already did when we were basically, going through the theory where we wanted to connect with another service with the help of REST template. First we did it with hard coding the URL, then using the Eureka client, we were able to do this with just the service name, okay, where we were able to call, I think it was the tutorial service in our case. With REST template, we were able to call the user service, and user service had, its data in the DB, and in the tutorial service, we were able to get the user data via the REST template, with and without hard coding. Okay, this is what we saw at that time, and we're doing the theory. And so basically, in this project, we have to do the, very similar thing, or I would say exactly same thing. Currently, in this particular diagram, as you can see, we have two services, which two services which are product service and inventory service, which actually, do the actual stuff of which have the actual data in them. Okay, other services are all to manage these services better, be it discovery server, API gateway, or config server. So there would be, situations when product service may need to call the inventory service, or inventory service may need to call data or get the data from the product service, right? So we need to see how we can do that. This is what we are going to do in that project. I think whatever you require, whatever knowledge you need to do that, we have already discussed in the theory along with the code walkthrough. So just give it a try, with the same inventory and product service which we created. How, if product service is, connected to a DB with, let's say, a table having some basic data, how, create those endpoints to get the products, and then call those APIs from the inventory service. Okay, this is what we need to do in this project. Hope it is clear. Uh, so this was about the project overview. Give it a try. Create a separate product DB in your MySQL. Do this with one table initially. Create one table. create APIs, appropriate APIs for that table. Let's say you create a product table which contains the product details like ID, name, description, category, etc. So, create APIs like get product, get product by brand, get product by category, create products, etc. And then, call those APIs from the inventory service. Okay. So, hope you can give it a try. So, we'll create the product DB and the product service in the next video. And we'll see how we can then get the product related data from the inventory service. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.